Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. What's up? My name is Noah and you're here on the channel of Noah's Life. So, for people who are new here, hi, what's up? I'm Noah. I do YouTube videos I used to do about pregnancy because I was pregnant, and my son is currently lying in his crib trying to fall asleep because it's like 9 p.m. right now. So I do YouTube videos about pregnancy, motherhood. I do YouTube videos about like different kinds of routines video, like sit down video. I do vlogs. I do about medical stuff. Again, if I do anything medically, even now in this video, I just wanted to give a quick disclaimer that I am not a medical professional yet. I'm saying yet because I am studying to become a nurse, but not a medical professional yet, and so anything that you hear on my medical stuff is just from my experience. What I mean by that is I have a whole section on my playlist, for example, where I talk about my seizure disorder and how I'm dealing with it, and I did not do a YouTube video a very long time about my seizures because my seizures they are still active, very much so, but it's not as bad as they used to be, where I have weird stories and stuff like that. And even if I have weird stories, I could not remember them, and my husband would need to be in this video for that. But let's get to today's video. So I wrote down some questions that y'all had, some questions that I thought would be interesting to answer, and it's about the new mom tag. So I'm a mom of a 7-week-old boy, baby boy. His name is Elijah. He's super cute. If I think like one or two videos ago both videos, you can see him in my videos because I did a morning routine and I kind of introduced him to this channel. And I'm just going to answer some questions. So let's get into this. And if you guys have any questions for the dad part, let's hope and try to convince my husband to get onto this channel and answer some new dad questions, or a parent tag kind of. So let's start. What is the best thing about being a mom? So the best thing about being a mom is all the love that you get from this little person. And I cannot talk for so far in the future because he's only 7 weeks old, but it's amazing how he needs to rely on you, and he's dependent on you, and that you're his whole world. And that's just an amazing feeling, the way how they look at you and so on. So I love that. What age did you get pregnant, and what age did you have the baby? So I got pregnant when I was 22 years old, and I had him couple days, 20. I had him 18 days after my 23rd birthday. So yeah, so I'm a mom, a 23-year-old mom. What was the hardest thing in pregnancy? So there is different kinds of hardness of pregnancy. I mean, there is the morning sickness, like nausea that we have, but that was still bearable. I think the worst part for me in my pregnancy was having seizures and being pregnant, because I did have seizures while I was pregnant, and I also had a seizure during labor, and that was it was not too big of a seizure, but it was big enough where I was happy that I was in the hospital for. And yeah, but otherwise, like, it's just a great thing being pregnant. I love being pregnant. One thing that I say I would kind of like dislike of being pregnant is I was pregnant in the summer. Texas summer is super hot. It's like 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius, Plus, with that, like, the humidity is like 90%. So, figure that out. Next question. Good things during your pregnancy. Well, I had a lot of good things. So it went from me knowing that I'm creating a human that I can be that I'm able to create a human. That's an amazing feeling. Then, of course, you have all the clothes shopping. I had baby fever even before I got pregnant, so actually being pregnant and actually having a reason to go clothes shopping and to go baby shopping, that was just great and amazing. And there were so many other things about being pregnant that I love and that I would do in a heartbeat again. Then question number 5 is, would you have changed anything during birth? Yes, I would have. The only thing that I would have changed during my birth was getting my epidural a little bit earlier. That's a whole story for a whole other video if you want to hear his birth story. But pretty much, I did not get my epidural when I was supposed to get it. I got it very late, and after I had my seizure, and they pretty much were like, oh, you had a seizure? Well, yeah, maybe we should give you the epidural now so you don't feel any pain. Even if they knew that I had epilepsy, and they should have given it to me earlier. And I even had a medical wristband that said that I was high risk for epilepsy. But whatever, like, I cannot, I would just do it next time differently. I mean, my husband was also asking them for so long to just give me the epidural because I really couldn't do it. And the epidural is definitely worth it. Then question number 6, on how long was your labor? So I think it was about like 11 hours or something like that. So pretty much, I went into the hospital September 19th. I was an induction. I was induced at midnight from September 20th to September 21st, and then had him at 8:21 in the morning. So I was pushing. I don't even know. For me, everything is a blur. I just know that it was an amazing thing. Then question number 7, what is your advice about childbirth? I have one very big advice that I would give, and that is that if you have a medicated birth, and what I mean by medicated birth is having a birth with an epidural, or if you're thinking about getting an epidural or not, I would totally get one. I would get it over and over again. It is definitely worth it. So the pain that you get from the epidural, like from them doing the procedure of the epidural that literally takes like 5 minutes, is nothing to compare the pain that you have afterwards. So I was really relieved because I already was not even I was contracting, but not I didn't really feel it, and then it came in a heartbeat like that, and I was in a lot of pain. Next question, how have you changed as a person? Well, I have a feeling I am more responsible. I mean, I also need to be more responsible because I'm in charge of a whole other human being that cannot do anything for themselves, really. I'm more responsible. I'm better at communicating, and it is definitely getting some used to between my husband and me of like just getting to like we already were together for so many years, but having another person there and like us being in charge of that little person is just another level. And you also realize that that the sleep that you had before you had a baby was so great, and how much you can do when you're sleep deprived. That's something that I actually learned, is how much shit you can get done when you're sleep deprived, and also how much stuff you can get done with one hand or with both hands. Like how much, like, I can do things with both hands now that I could only do with one hand. Then next question, how was it to have a baby with COVID? Well, guys, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It was not 100% bad. It was not 100% good. What really annoyed me was my husband sometimes could come to my prenatal visits, sometimes he could not, and the whole mask thing was an issue where already here in Texas it's hot as hell, and I had a hard time breathing when I was pregnant because my son was pushing onto my diaphragm and my diaphragm was pushing onto my lungs and so on. When you're pregnant, you're going to understand and you know exactly what I mean. But I already had a hard time breathing, so that did not really help at all having that mask on. And it's also more risk having a baby when there's COVID, but it's totally worth it, and you just need to be safe about it and definitely be able to talk to your doctors about everything. Then next question, any advice for couples waiting to start a family? Yes, I have a couple of things. Be on the same page with your partner. And by that I mean make sure both of you are ready, and I'm putting that especially in like quotations kind of, because you never can be 100% ready for a baby. You can never be 100% ready for every situation, and even as much as you plan, and that's where I plan the crap out of it. But as long as you're on the same page like your partner and you both want that, then and you just keep yourself on the right track and you're working towards it, even if a lot of people say, yes, you need to be financially stable, you need to be, like, so many things they tell you guys, like they tell when you start a family. Well, yeah, financially stable, that would be amazing, but if you're working towards being financially stable and you know that that's going to happen, then and you really want a family, go for it. Really go for it, and just be sure that's 100% what you want, because once they're here, like, you cannot just go to the store and give them back. Next question, how do you lose the baby weight? Well, I still have a little bit of baby weight. I don't know how much I lost. I honestly, I do want to know how much I lost, but I never, except of like doctor's visits, I did not stand on a scale. But things that I do that help a lot with losing my baby weight is, first of all, breastfeeding helps a lot with losing weight or pumping. Then another thing is to work out. Again, with a workout, talk to your doctors on how much you're allowed to work out, what kind of workouts you're allowed to do, because I know that you need to start off very slow. Like, I cannot go back to almost like the athlete level that I was. Like, I was really in shape before, and I know I cannot go back to that, like, immediately to that training, but slowly but surely you can work up to it. And also, guys, just eat right. Don't eat, like, you can eat everything, but eat it in moderation. Don't just, like, go for it. Next question is, what's the best thing about being a parent? Literally, it's just the love that you get from your child. It's something that is like, you cannot explain it unless you are a parent, on how much you can love this thing that you know for like 7 weeks, for example. There's so much love where, yeah, it's not, you cannot explain it unless you're a parent. How many more kids do you want? Well, that's a great question. I minimum want 2 kids, and the max I don't really know. My husband and I are still talking about that, but I think I have 1 son now, and I think I want like 3 more. I am not 100% sure on that, but you're gonna see how much more pregnancy videos are gonna be here on this channel. And the last thing is, the last question, or the last whatever you want to call it, is one phrase that sums up parenting. Amazing, loving, tiring, mess. That's just everything in one sentence. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you guys have more questions, feel free to DM me. I have all my social medias down below. I am very active on Instagram, but I also have TikTok, where I am active. I'm just not as active as Instagram, sorry. And make sure you go ahead and subscribe to this channel, that you're not gonna miss any videos. And I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, and see you guys in my next video. Good night, or good morning, or wherever you are. Bye, guys.